Welcome to Blockchain Basement. On today's episode, we're going to talk about why everything's a stablecoin, PayPal's back, and what altcoins top VCs are accumulating right now. Bum, 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 bum. You ready for this? I'm ready. Welcome.
If you're gonna screw me, at least pull my hair.
Hell yeah. What do you got?
They could start chopping off fingers. They're like, give me your seed phrase, but I don't know it.
Out to give the numbers out. And I was like, no, hang up the phone right now.
Or like when it dropped in 2020, was it like exciting?
400,000 to 600,000. The generational signals are now.
Level. So I don't even know if we're gonna get back below there. But if we do, that's kind of where we.
All right, welcome into Blockchain Base. We're going to have a really good show for you guys today. We got the full squad back. Start with the beautiful on the board, Biscuit Jesus with those flowing, lovely locks.
Chaos is back.
Chaos is back. Fresh off the streets of Barcelona.
See.
How was it?
Buenos dias. Amazing. They're very pro Bitcoin. Have lots of stories, and I didn't get arrested.
That is good.
I did accidentally smuggle something back, but you know.
That's not.
Okay.
Anytime BJ returns home to us not arrested, we count that as a.
Yeah.
As always, we've got AJ rocking the Under Oath. Saw that show this weekend. Kelly Kellum from BitLab Academy. The Druth, as always, up here with us. I'm gonna have a really good show today, and all of you guys. I saw you guys in the chat earlier rolling in. We got Manawak, Justin Eubanks, Dayton Treyfi, Daniel Herret. Sorry if I messed up your name, by the way. Jamie Gonzalez, Robert Costin, Drew Italiano. Let's see, Crypto Stevo. Same names over and over. You guys talk about Brokoshi Nadero, STNT, Loud Smoke, B Team Crypto. Love all you guys. Really.
Wait, how did you pronounce Brokoshi's name?
Brokoshi Nakamoto. That's what I didn't.
Brokoshi no dinero.
Oh,
Yeah,
no
I got my
dinero.
glasses.
That's what happens sometimes. I start reading them and I'm just like,
It's his cousin away.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna print it. So yeah, today, let's see. We've got Bitcoin on a 0.8% move in the last 7 days. So Bitcoin coming in at 28,922. Ethereum, it's moved 2% in the last week. But realistically, not much difference between Tether, BNB, and Bitcoin in the last 7 days. USDC, like we've seen more volatility in USDC and USDT over the last year or so than we've seen in Bitcoin in the last week. So super boring when it comes to price action. I was talking with Frank the other day about doing TAs that having to get creative, having to find all sorts of different stuff out there when it comes to price action, but it's actually good, a really good time to be learning. And Kelly, you could probably speak to this a little bit from your experience in BitLab. Trading these chop zones, you get into tight ranges and you can really, like if you're trying to work on pattern recognition or seeing setups and some of that kind of stuff, trading within these zones, I think it's a good time to kind of cut your teeth with that, because if you can learn it now, you'll probably crush it in the bull market. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I completely agree, especially if you're looking at like a daily chart and you're seeing it consolidate as it has the last 3 weeks or a month. Then break it down to the 4-hour chart, get a kind of a smaller landscape of what's going on, and then bring that in and start to trade the range on I'm locked up.
Uh-oh.
Locked up, won't let me out.
Kelly stole drugs.
Yeah. You get to trade their range, on say like an hour chart, 15-minute chart for the actual signal to buy, because you can identify very clearly horizontal levels of support and resistance in combination with some diagonal levels. So when you get when you see the price moving into a resistance level on a horizontal line, and there's also you're coming into that level on a diagonal as well of resistance, excellent spots to take shorts and just take advantage of what's going on in the chart. And it is a great time to cut your teeth when things are not yet moving.
Yeah, it's funny. On Friday we were actually talking about. I think when it was on Friday, must have been Wednesday, I guess. End of last week, some point in last week, last show I was on, we were discussing this phase of the bear market and how they kind of bore you to death before, and that's how they kind of shake the last few people out. Where it's like positive headline after positive headline comes, and you get a 2%, a 1%, a 3%. Move in the price, and then people are like, man, this is dead, it's never coming back. Kelly, what am I drinking? I'm drinking a bubbly with blueberry pomegranate.
Bubbly.
You love those flavored sparklings, man.
I do, man. I can't stop.
They're so good.
They are really good. That's all I drink. But and then later that day, August 7th, I saw this thing. Bitcoin volatility index reached a new all-time low. The real challenge is not surviving downtrends, but enduring the boredom of a sideways market. Stay strong, friends. So this is right. Or if you can pull other one, screen and no box.
No box.
No box. So
What's in the box?
So here we are down here. We've got Bitcoin volatility, meaning like the percentage change up or down in the prices. So you can see, obviously, this is where you can see diminishing returns happening a little bit. The movements are getting less dramatic as time goes on, but you can really see this is probably early, 2022. I can't see right here. But this trends all the way down over the past year. This is probably 23 right here, where it's just been going.
That's 2022. Where you were shown before is 2020.
Here, 2020.
Yeah,
probably right about March.
Yeah,
this was a sell-off.
Yeah, so we've been trending all the way down, as far as price movement, volatility, all that sort of stuff. So there's less Bitcoin or crypto trading hands now than any other time in history or price changes. It's hard to quantify that, but the price is changing less now. It's more stabilized than anything else, which is why we see things like, a 0.9% change in 7 days on Bitcoin.
Remember, everything in markets is cyclical.
Mm-hmm.
Constriction and volatility leads to expansion and volatility. Expansion and volatility leads to constriction. Same thing. Price goes up cyclically, it's going to come down. Volume goes up at some point. So right now, volatility's been constricting over several years, and you saw that one little blip that you were just pointing out. That blip is right. I would expect is probably the March 2020 global economic shutdown, which huge sell off on all assets, global equities everywhere. I do think coming into 2024 and 2025 and beyond, we're probably going to see some explosions in volatility that kind of break this idea that it's always going to get, diminishing volatility over time as the market gets bigger. Because once some more regulatory clarity comes in and the institutions really start flowing in, I think we're going to see a huge at least one major expanse in volatility when we start seeing a flood of capital flow into the space.
I agree. I think what we're experiencing right now, and I see you guys talking about the chain. I think it was a Chainlink price prediction video was the last one you did, right, AJ? That aired.
Well,
Yes.
I think the last one you did was Filecoin. And
Yeah, but the file got corrupted.
Oh no,
Dude, really fast. Not to go too far off the rails here.
Good,
So
I want to come back.
all
to
right.
that.
So first of all, thank you for all the love in the chat. I really appreciate that. I put a lot of work into those videos, and to see so much positive, I get a lot of positive feedback from that, and it means a lot to me. So secondly, so this Filecoin Arweave video has been coming for quite some time, right? And but then like the XRP thing happened, so I had to pivot and do XRP, and then someone was like, "You didn't cover Ethereum yet," so I like pivoted away from this video like multiple times. I finally get down here to record it. It took me 4 hours to write the script. I come right here, right down after I do the script. I record the camera. My shoot was like an hour and 45 minutes because there was just so much. Like doing 2 in 1 video is a nightmare. Because you
have no idea how much work it is to make these videos.
Because you want to do justice for the communities. You want to say the new updates. You want to really get into tokenomics. And the videos, like when I do smaller coins, I'm going to package them into 2. And it just takes a long time to really cover all of them. Anyway, the file got corrupted after I recorded the video. I give it to Tristan, like, here you go, man. Like, I worked my heart on this, and he like plugs in his computer, and he's like, wait.
It just says, "Sorry, mother chucker."
I just can't get over the irony of a video on Filecoin having a corrupted
I
file.
know that
Yeah.
hit me immediately.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
That's a no file coin.
So Filecoin ROE will be coming this week. And that kind of frees me up because I got Bud's Creek coming in 2 weeks. So I can write another script this week and then film both. So it kind of worked out, actually.
Bud's Creek.
It's a
Motocross National next week.
All right.
2 weeks from now.
Well, I know you did just do a Chainlink one. I'm going to come to you with a couple Chainlink questions a little bit later in the show. But real quick, if you guys like AJ's price prediction videos, or even if you don't like those, if you like it when we talk about altcoins on here, smash that like button for us. We've got about, I just looked and then I already forgot. We got about 200 people in the chat right now, only 64 likes. So if you could stop what you're doing real quick, hit that like button. If you're in the live chat, you close it, hit the like button, and you come right back, and we'd appreciate it. So yeah, we are experiencing the low response from headlines right now. I saw this one coming in over the weekend. Reputable institutions filed 7 distinct ETH ETFs out of the blue on the same night, and price went up $3. And that kind of, again, comes back to the same concept we were talking about, where price action really doesn't move on positive headlines right now. And what Kelly was talking about with the changing of diminishing returns, I'm done with this. Yeah. So Owen and I made this little trick, BJ, while you were gone. You want me to show you where if I put my cursor here and you see that little,
I'm trying to fix the PTZ right now.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Wait, so don't show this.
Well,
Yes, exactly.
Where's
Don't show
where's the
this.
cursor go?
Never mind.
Gary,
Up your
yes.
ass and to the
Now I
Yes,
completely
Gary.
lost my train of thought. I was going to come back to what Kelly was saying about
Expansion volatility.
yes, and the diminishing returns and regulation and all that sort of stuff. I'm going to kind of what I think is what we're going to see over the next, say, cycle or 2 cycles, because you're hearing a lot of people saying right now, next cycle will be the last big cycle. It's going to be the end of diminishing returns. We're going to get one more big run, and that might be it. And that could be true. That it could all happen in the next 4 or 5 years. In my opinion, if you look at what happened with gold, it took a little bit longer. It might be a little bit more spread out. So gold, when they started doing ETFs, that's when it really had that parabolic run, and it's been going up dramatically. Obviously, anytime between the 70s and today, that's 60 years. But where did it make the biggest portion of that? That was early on after they launched the ETFs. I think very similarly, we might see Bitcoin and digital asset markets really explode. If we say we get regulation in place in the next year or two before the next halving, and then we've got the halving coming up in, I think it was like 250 days, something like that. So not too far off on the next halving. You get regulation approved, then institutions start piling in. You get a big run. It gets oversold, and we kind of get 2 cycles. But the ETFs, I think, will really take Bitcoin to those crazy numbers. I mean, it sounds insane to talk about 250K, 500K Bitcoin, eventually maybe $1 million Bitcoin. Now that might take 20 years, just like what we saw gold going from, I think it was like 60 something dollars in the 70s to is it 2,000, 2,500? What's the price of gold now? Like
It's still right around $2,000 bucks.
So going from $60 to $1,900 over the course of basically that's trillions of dollars. I think it's a roughly $10 trillion market in gold right now. I think we're going to see very similar. And who led that charge? BlackRock. BlackRock created a lot of the ETFs that took gold where it went today. And I think BlackRock's going to do the exact same thing with Bitcoin, which will drag a lot of other digital assets along with it. We're seeing Ethereum being a very, very, very strong competitor. Later in the show, we're going to look at top VCs, what they're investing in. Jump Capital, Pantera, A16Z. Those are the big ones that I think of.
Invesco, Bitwise.
Yeah, I don't know who's all on this list, but those 3 are all on there. There's 3 or 4 other ones, and a lot of them touch DeFi, and a lot of them touch Ethereum ecosystem. So it'll be really interesting to see. And again, we had 7 Ethereum futures ETFs, filed for just the other day. And then Kelly, I know you had a theory on what we're going to see. Well, let's get into that a little bit.
Well, I wanted to touch on that. You just mentioned something important there about all this futures ETF applications for Ethereum.
Yep.
It only moved $3. Well, why is that? No matter how much you like your small coin, believe me, Ethereum is a small project comparatively with other assets, because Bitcoin is small comparatively with other assets. Mm-hmm. And then exponentially, every coin you go down the coin market cap ranking below Ethereum, I think you did the math.
From at the time of the calculation, if you take the market cap, not including stable coins, from every coin below Ethereum, starting with XRP, all the way down to Sandbox, which was 51st at the time. If you add everyone from XRP all the way down to Sandbox and 51st, that is less than Ethereum's market cap.
So to that point,
Yeah.
Think about the biggest news week we've had in history when BlackRock put out in the spot ETF approval, application for Bitcoin, and followed within about a week or so of the XRP summary judgment. We were not able to break $32,000. In fact, we're starting to see the speculative push that we got up to that level, especially since we weren't able to break it. And we're falling now. We're also seeing any of the risk on support in the traditional markets. We're seeing them starting to pull back now, showing lower lows, forming new now lower highs. Why would we get a big push from a speculative, it's not approved yet, just applications on Ethereum? Everything's still following the lead of Big Daddy Bitcoin. So we want to, and Bitcoin is still following the lead of what the risk narrative is in the markets. And that's why, for that reason, on my Twitter, I shared with everybody about 4 or 5 days ago that I sold a huge portion of my altcoin portfolio on my trading altcoin portfolio, because it looks more likely than not that we'll probably get some sort of liquidity event to the downside, especially considering ETF deadlines are coming up. And let's be honest, Gary Gensler is he's not on the side of, all right, let's get everything going. Let's get that capital flowing into crypto. He just said, hey, screw all this. I'm focusing on AI regulation, because that's what's needed right now.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, that also, but come on, crypto is a global industry.
So I'm stacking up too many L's over here in crypto. I'm going to go over to AI and see if I can do a little better.
You got to save my career, my reputation real quick.
Yeah, no, but that's an important point, the deadlines for the ETFs, because now, and this isn't a deadline that they have to approve or deny it. It's a deadline where they either approve it or delay it. You know, they can deny it, but most likely, like what he was saying, what we see almost every time is
they get 4 options.
Yeah,
four dates.
They can delay it up to 4 times.
240 days
They're not
total.
in any incentive. There's no incentive. They're not really in any rush. Happy about it. But if you understand the cycles and get involved, which is what the big money's doing right now, there's opportunity. But what happens is, if this thing gets delayed, you're going to get when you're bored, price drops, and then everybody that was accumulating over the summer thinking, hey, I'm buying at 30, I'm buying at 29, all these different things. And again, I don't really think it matters if you buy at 22, 25, 27, 29, 32, generally speaking, over the next couple of years, as long as you're not trying to flip it in 30 to 60 days, or even a quarter or a year, you should be fine. However, a lot of people will get shaken out if that scenario plays out exactly like what Kelly was saying. Hey, ETF announcement comes up in September, delayed. Price drops a little bit.
Well,
it's every, how many days between them? Like 90 days?
45 days.
Okay, 45 days. So then, boom, another 45 days goes by, middle October, November, we're coming into Thanksgiving. Boom, rejected again. Like, you feel terrible. You're going, all your, family you're seeing at Thanksgiving, these are the awkward, like, they're laughing at you, and you're still trying, you still want your family to buy at this Thanksgiving dinner. They're just listening to you a lot less than they did the 2 Thanksgivings ago.
Yeah, I have like one uncle that was like, oh, how's this going? And I'm like, well, like, you can make money if the market goes down, right? Like, you can short.
Yeah.
Listen here, Uncle John. You don't know.
You're really
shit.
going to teach Uncle John how to short over Thanksgiving dinner?
Listen here, Uncle John.
I don't think that would go well.
I'd like to see some, and because everybody was talking about when BlackRock applied, they had 577 applications, and only one of them was denied. Now, if we look at just broadly across all markets, I'm curious on, just on average, how often is an ETF approved for any asset in the course of history? In the first decision window, what's the bell curve of at what stage, different assets typically get approved? Is it pretty high hit rate all the way to the 240-day mark, or that'd be kind of an interesting to look at?
How many times do they delay?
Yeah, on average.
I would be curious too. I know, I'm pretty sure I saw the number that BlackRock has like a 99% success rate on all of their filings.
They are the government.
So if they file it, it will get approved. But it's a good point. I wonder if they got, if they on average get delayed twice or not at all.
They're the government, just like the Federal Reserve is.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty
they're
much.
The banks.
You got to do your
They're
dirty
above the
business
government.
somewhere, but not have culpability.
Yeah, that was the other thing that's interesting. Like BlackRock and Blackstone, the same thing.
But inevitably, I kind of hope it goes all the way to 240, because if any of you are watching and trading on data rather than emotion, and these little basically road marks along the way, then you can also understand that maybe if we're coming into a level of resistance right around this Friday or right around September 1st or September 2nd, and so on and so forth, these different markers, you could take advantage, hedge some of your position, buy or just be okay with the dropping and have targets to buy lower. But I'm looking at likely having a little bit of choppy, uncertain price action through probably, I would guess, probably through the middle, second, third week of September, and then likely some upside from there. But all of this, the terminal date is 240 days, which puts us just before the halving.
That's what I was just about to say.
That's freaking awesome.
And one thing I wanted to bring up really fast as well is that, since the beginning of 2023, Bitcoin has been a consistent uptrend. This whole time we've been, even when we went down from like April to June or whatever, that big fall, we were still technically in an uptrend. And we have respected that line. So if you draw that line of that uptrend, right? And then you draw the 31 and change resistance level that we kind of got over, but keep getting rejected from that same 31 level. The point of intersection between that trend line and that 31 level is September 17th. So we are either going to go down below the year-long trend line we spent all year working on, or we're going to go above and beyond 31K, and this is going to happen before September 17th.
And I would like to see it actually dip down as a bear trap liquidity grab and make that be the spring.
That would be great.
Yeah. I think that's what a lot of us want. Like,
fingers
one more time to
crossed,
pack
bro.
our bags and then, let's go.
So just remember, if price does pull back and you're frustrated, realize that's a marker that you were not paying attention and that you're out of position. You did not have good strategy. Or be out of position and be okay with it and say, oh, it's dropping, rather than be like, it's dropping. Go, awesome, I have another opportunity because I'm putting money aside every week, whether or not you're buying. Then you have dry powder, even if it's $200, $500.
That's what I was talking about on Sunday. Like when you DCA, you shouldn't just DCA in the coins. You should also DCA for dry powder when a situation comes, so you have it.
Well, this seems like a good segue for.
We should do this
This will
professionally.
make more sense. Here, hand this to TJ.
We do.
What is going on?
It will make sense after he opens it.
It
You
said
give it to
hand me.
TJ.
What is it? Let's see.
I'm nervous.
And I did want to come back to the chat too about what was going on.
We
Wait,
are.
is this NC-17? What's going
Well,
on?
this will make sense because everyone seems like what is in this package.
So should
Is
I,
it chicken salad?
No.
Open it nice and slow here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Feels like it's gonna break.
Yeah,
what you
do
snuggled?
it,
It
Daddy.
is.
This is what BJ snuggled home in his rumpus.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So,
Rumpus.
You know where I got
use
this?
that visual. There's a little.
You know where I got this
bend
watch?
right there.
Well, what I'm
Right
getting
on
at
his
is
ass.
it sounds like everyone should be very. I'm trying to time this right.
I'm nervous.
We should all be very
Ah, hey!
bullish.
This thing's awesome.
Oh.
I love this guy. Here we go. Here we go.
That's
See?
awesome.
You have a PTZ on him, right?
Because we're all bullish.
La
and we
bouffe.
should be.
La
Let's see.
bouffe.
Put it where you can see it.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
pretty
get
cool.
It.
This
I'll
guy.
get it.
Wow.
This guy's awesome.
That thing's got
Oh, wait,
stay
TJ
there.
should be riding the bull.
Well,
That's a different show.
yeah, and that would have been expensive. I would have
That
bought
would
that.
have been expensive.
This is awesome, dude. This thing's sick.
Well, it was funny because I
There you
was
go.
like, "What do you want?" And you're like, "Get me something I can display." And I walked into a store and I was like, "Wait, we're bullish,
Yeah.
and it's a bull."
There you go. No, that's perfect.
That's great.
And I am bullish. So I saw you guys. I guess we had a little pause in the stream, so you missed a couple seconds. That was the absolute best alpha that you were ever
Yeah.
gonna get. Is what I was talking about during
You
that.
guys
part of the
missed
show.
that
So,
trade, and I apologize.
Also, Blue Punk Rocker, I did see you come in earlier, say you were late. Welcome in. What are your thoughts on Under Oath? I'm curious if you're a fan or no fan. AJ saw him over the weekend. So.
I love Under. Are you asking me or asking
No,
him?
Blue Punk Rocker. I just curious if
if
if he's into that
of course,
or not.
Of course.
Yes, I'm a perma bull, especially on Bitcoin and freedom, all of those sorts of things. And I saw Cryptonautic, I guess it is, said he's spending $50K on PTZ cameras. Like, dang, bro, what did you do?
That's the first time you said his name correctly. The first
I know.
time.
I always say Crypto Teutonic or
Yeah.
Crypto.
Shout
That's
out.
because I sat here and read it.
and he
for-
keeps coming back.
yeah. Well, he's a member.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's an OG, part of the OG squads. Do you do crypto content as well, or what kind of content do you do if you're spending $50K on cameras?
Only
Yeah.
Overpaying on cameras unless you're getting like 7 of them.
Okay, so I did have this pulled. It was right in line with what you guys were just talking
Wait,
about with
is the cursor where it's supposed to be?
well, it's this trick.
How-
When I go here,
Do I know to?
that means you see this little thing that pops up at
Yeah,
the top.
I mess with
That
it.
means I want you to get off of this screen, and that
Oh,
way
yeah.
I don't have to tell you. But
Wait. So
I'm
you're
not doing
telling
it
me
now.
you're telling me when to get off?
That's right.
Okay,
And you
Daddy.
love it. You love being bossed around.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
You take that.
Uh-huh.
Take that.
Sure you don't.
He's buying it for the church, by the way. The
BJ's
cameras.
the number one sub.
For the church. That makes
Church.
He is a sub.
sense, actually,
Bless.
unfortunately. Okay, 256 days left until the next Bitcoin halving. That was what Kelly was just referring to. It's interesting. We've got 204 potentially. They could delay close to right up to the halving. And this is when you start to look at the halving dates and the bottoms and the tops. This is something.
Can we not talk about bottoms and tops after that last thing?
Or
This is something they talk about a lot on the BitBoy Crypto channel as far as timing the cycles and how many days from the top, days to the bottom, that sort of thing. So we've got 256 days left until the next Bitcoin halving. It's been 634 days since Bitcoin was at its all-time high price of 69K. In the previous 2 cycles, it took 1126 and basically 1,083 days for the price to recover back to an all-time high. So roughly 1,100 days from, back to get, I think from all-time high to all-time high is what it's measuring. BTC experience, this is what's, yeah, exactly. It feels forever. It feels like forever when you watch the crypto charts every day. The longer you're in it, the less time it feels like. But this is interesting to me, and this is a good reminder for all of you guys. BTC experienced its most mild drawdown of only 77% in the current cycle. This is why, and like as much as we like to poke fun at bears and all those sorts of things during the, like that we're calling for 10K, calling for 12K, 3K, 15K. There's a reason people were calling for those numbers. If you look at history, traditionally it does draw down more like 80, 85%. This was the most mild one at 77. Had we hit
And in the face of quantitative tightening.
yes, and in a horrible macro environment.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were thinking, hey, 10K, 15K, 12K, all these numbers because that's 85% plus X, Y, and Z. So it's important to remember we experienced the most mild drawdown in its history up until this date. Which I think is extremely positive. That shows there's more, it's stronger, it's more mature now than it's ever been, in my opinion. Despite a larger market cap, BTC only took 378 days to find a bottom, which is in line with the previous 2 cycles in terms of length, which again, this is why a lot of us here, I think almost everybody here in this Building Hit Network is much, much bigger on using time versus price. The time indicator, time from the Bitcoin halving, time from, Bitcoin halving to all-time high to bottom to halving. Like timing days within the halving is what I use much, much more than the actual price. They all kind of go together. You can use a combination of them. But if I'm torn, if I like in November, the reason I could say I'm feeling confident this is the bottom, even though the number doesn't make sense, is because the timing makes sense. So it's like, look, based on the timeline, this should be the bottom. Yes, I know we didn't draw down as much as we have in the past, but I'm going to act as if the timeline is still intact because it has been so far. And until it starts really seeing strong deviation, I'm just going to operate under that context. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys here. And by the way, any link I show on this show, guys, if you guys don't know, it all goes in the TJ's Alpha channel on our Discord. All you have to do is join the membership version on YouTube members. You get access to the Discord and you see all of these links and all this information, a lot of times many days before I cover it on the show, whether it's coins or picks, and a lot of stuff that I pull and put in there that I don't actually cover on this show because it might be too complicated. I don't want to explain it all or whatever. All that stuff goes in there. I think it's interesting stuff. I think it's all relative, a lot of coin picks, a lot of deep DeFi stuff that, again, if it's too complex, like I think I put a whole thing in there explaining, a lot about Frax Finance. I'm not going to get into Frax Finance too much probably on this live stream unless I feel like we've got a lot of time, but I think it's an interesting project you guys should be keeping an eye on. So if you want to do that, and I think if you join memberships right now, before we get to 15K subscribers, you still have a chance to get that sub 15K NFT. So you kind of get 2 for the price of 1. It's only, I think it's $5 a month. I think that was the cheapest we could do it on YouTube. So check it out if you guys want to see all that stuff. So does anybody care that the IRS thinks staking is income? I
touched a little bit on this on Thursday. Yeah, I just kind of went on a rant against the government, so we probably shouldn't go back there. Big
surprise.
That's just
Big
me.
surprise.
One thing that I see interesting is just so many presidential candidates on both sides now going after the IRS. and different three-letter organizations. I thought that
it's election cycle season. That's why that's an easy target. Everybody likes it when you dunk on the IRS.
Yeah, like 75% of them, like on both sides of the aisle, like going after the IRS and the FBI and all these things. And
wait, so Bitcoin draws down 77%. You said there's 77 of them, and then they hired 77,000 new agents.
86,000.
Trying to make bullshit here.
Damn it,
it's good.
What's crazy with that too, though, is the fact that I feel like what they're doing is grasping for straws, trying to find ways that they can pinpoint creating some sort of income. Because let's be honest, they're pushing up to $1 trillion in interest payments a year on the debt that they have that they're not stopping their spending on. So they're like, we got to tax people on shoelaces, man. It's like, anything that they can, they're trying to figure out. And they feel like, they feel like crypto is still something, one, they don't understand. And two, that doesn't have the best broadly understood awareness about and sentiment, across both aisles on mass populace. So they're like, this is something that we could take money from. It's stupid.
Well, think about it this way too. From a governance perspective, if you were actually trying to operate this thing and you're seeing new digital technology coming out, you're realizing probably 80% of financial payments in the country are already all digital. It's getting easier to track. You're seeing a fast track to a CBDC. Why would you spend millions, if not billions of dollars hiring, training, implementing this? They're talking about these 87,000 new agents. The runtime on that would probably be like 5 years to hire and train and implement and actually get any ROI on any of those people. You're talking about a huge investment, and they know, hey, technology, by the time that we get all that done, is going to be doing the job much more efficiently at an extremely low rate. Why don't we just, hey, we're going to miss some taxes over the next couple of years, but we're going to make it up in spades over, the next 15 years after that. Once we get everybody on a CBDC, we don't need the IRS anymore.
Well, we were talking before the show that it's like how you, or not you, but like AJ was just saying, like, they don't know. But if you watch the last House Committee video with like Tom Emmer, and I know Maxine Waters doesn't love crypto, but you can tell that like they're very versed on this. They know that it's not going away, and there's somewhat of feigning ignorance until you watch those videos and realize that like they understand immutable blockchains, they understand the technology, they understand CDBCs. Like, they're there. They're just making you feel
smart
like
enough to be a senator. You could figure out.
Well, and they've got staffs. And ironically, some of this, even like when we've talked about it a lot on this show, the executive order at the beginning of the year, Biden gave executive orders across the board. Like, you guys need to get up to speed on this stuff and quickly. That was 2 years ago at this point, right? Or a year and a half? Or
I think January. It was just about a year. Yeah.
So what do you make of
January? He gave an original of like, this is when it's all due. So, and I think January was the first date that like the first batch of reports were due.
Oh, okay.
And then from that, he gave even more directives. And so, everybody across the board, the financial committees are getting up to speed on this stuff. And they, like you're saying, they know more than they'll let on sometimes.
So what was the deal with, what's your thought, TJ, on Biden holding the laser eye mug? Did he even know he was holding it? Did somebody just put it in his hands?
Wait, what?
I don't even know anything about it. You sure that happened?
Oh, we covered it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
There's a photo of him like drinking out of a Bitcoin laser eye mug.
Funny.
If it's a photo and not a video, I don't trust it.
Yeah. I don't.
If it's a video, I'm not sure you should trust it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's dark, Brandon. He's trolling Republicans because he's a tyrant and he's making fun of everyone on his illegitimacy. Here he is. So there you go. That's a hot take.
Wait, I want to see the video of Hunter with CZ. There's something out there. I know it. I'm starting it now.
BJ.
All right. When it comes to state IRS staking rewards being income, it's a weird one. They're gonna have to figure that one out. I'm not necessarily shocked you're making income from it. They're going to figure out some way to tax it. Yes, it's not as cut and dry as maybe rental income would be, or how they were. I think that's how they were treating mining stuff for a while.
I mean, you pay taxes on
401ks.
You pay taxes on interest earned on savings accounts.
Yeah, you pay you pay taxes on dividends that you get. You pay taxes on all kinds of different things. So now, how and why and which ways, and hey, if I'm staking this versus that, the argument I think becomes staking isn't necessarily participation for rewards as it is, not getting penalized. So let's see, what do we got? May What's it say? Maybe Band-Aid, something?
Maybe a Band-Aid.
Maybe a Band-Aid. Took a DGen 100x long, sharing with the boys. Gainers gain. We need more Kelly. Awesome. Well, appreciate that.
Send it.
I hope that hits big time for you.
And I hope the chart doesn't sneeze.
And what was your what was your 100x long on? Was it
Yeah.
on Bitcoin or was it on a Gensler coin?
Something. Yeah, it's probably pure DGen.
I love it.
And I did see somebody. Where did it go? Somebody was asking AJ a question about algo. Did you
Oh
see it, AJ?
yeah, he said from the heart. Why are you so bullish on Algorand?
Yeah, so just give us
All
a
right.
30 or 60, just a quick like.
TJ's like, keep it short, AJ. Keep
just
it
a little
short.
reminder. Yeah, just give us a bullet point.
All right. Listen, dude. Listen, dude.
Listen.
Silvio McCallie is the godfather of cryptography.
Literally.
Zero knowledge proofs, verifiable random functions, things that so many other blockchains implement, like Chainlink. The whole CCIP is based off of verifiable random functions. Like the Bitcoin white paper references Silvio. Like he's a genius. He's a genius. And just because the coin isn't, doing what Caspa is doing doesn't mean that the vision isn't there, and it doesn't mean that the team and the community isn't there. I got into Algorand on a community level, about over a year ago at this point. And just because like the price is going down doesn't mean that I'm like stressed out about it. Like it's not the only coin I talk about. I love HBAR. I love Quant. I love Chainlink. I like a lot of coins, but like I do fly the Algorand family flag because of my respect for Silvio.
So main 2 points there. Sounds like really, really strong team.
Yep.
Really strong, like being, Sylvia,
John-
history, experience, and then the tech, obviously.
Yeah, and John Allen Woods, the CTO of Algorand, him and I talk on the phone about once every 2 weeks. He calls me. We chat. Like I know the guy. Like when I didn't that just kind of happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like from the videos I made and stuff, and then because like if like when things, what is happening right now? Oh,
Here we
did
go.
he read the chat?
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. I'm not
God.
gonna say what it said.
I can move.
I was sliding over.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that really happened.
They didn't know who I was.
That really
They
just
didn't even
happened.
know who I was talking to.
Wow.
I'm on the
What's
show
up?
for the rest of the day. Let's go.
We're talking
right.
about
This is what
algorithms.
happens because I get up early now, so I got plenty of time now.
Yeah, AJ was given his 2
Yep.
seconds on Algorand.
Yeah, someone asked me why I'm so bullish, and I said Silvio McCallie's the godfather of cryptography. Respect the OG. That's it. That's the whole point.
All right.
Yeah, good stuff.
And also, if they ever ask for volunteers, AJ says, "I'll go."
Wow. I'm shutting off the stream.
Very nice.
Hey, look, did y'all see what happened to the Bitcoin market? You saw everybody was bears this morning. Do you remember what I said? Does anybody remember what did I say would probably have been the smart move?
Put in a short.
No,
You
Earlier
said
on,
go
what
long,
happened.
scalp long.
No, you missed your
28.8.
short.
Yeah, I missed my short, and I
Yeah.
said it feels like it's going down. It feels very bearish. Everybody's bearish. But I said 28.8 seems like a good place to long. It has been. And look, I should have.
Yep.
Did it.
Yep.
It's
Should
always
have
like
hit
that.
it.
There you go. All right, so we're gonna get to the top part that I know you guys really care about, the what VCs are buying. So we've got an article here kind of outlining Web3 VC firms are piling up in the bear market with ATL stablecoin holdings and their balance sheets. Curious about their portfolio. So I kind of gave you the answer at the beginning, but see what stands out to you the most by looking at some of these guys. These aren't all of their holdings. These are just their most substantial ones. So A16Z, 369 million in Uni, 18 million in Comp, 900K in Synthetics. Paradigm, 180 million ETH, 131 million Lido. Dragonfly, 33 million Bitcoin in
No.
Bit to
That's
MMT
Bit Dow
into
to Mantle.
Mantle. Yeah,
I
so
learned
which
about that today on the show.
Crypto Stevo actually was just asking about Mantle.
Did you know that Bit Dow is behind the Bybit is behind Mantle?
Bybit is behind BitDAO. BitDAO is behind
Yes.
Mantle. Yeah, BitDAO is they're like top
They're up there.
30.
So
Top
you're saying nobody's buying Dash?
They're above H bar.
Where is BitDAO? It was up here for a while.
Nobody's even buying a dash of Dash.
Poor Dash. And so Mantle is one I don't really know that much about. Somebody was just asking, but it's ranked 33 on CoinMarket. Do you know what Mantle is? Anybody
I know
here?
all about Mantle.
Did you talk about it already on the
We
show?
deep dove it. At 8:30 a.m. this morning.
Oh, okay.
I know everything about Mantle.
Can you give a 30-second?
Yeah, it's a layer 2. It uses ZK rollups. It was birthed out of Bybit, basically out of BitDAO.
Layer
It's
two
not a token migration. I don't I think both tokens are going to stay viable, but it rolled out in I think July 17th, I think was when it rolled out. So it's been out within the first week. It had gone up to where it was up there with Arbitrum and OP and transactions and stuff. It's gone back down since. But the price it looks like it might be at a pretty good place. They're sponsoring Token 2049. They're the big sponsor of Token 2049, which is turning into one of the biggest crypto conferences in the world. And they also the tokenomics are sound. So they're like I think the total amount of tokens is like I think it's 6 billion tokens if I remember correctly, and 3 billion of them are released. So you say, okay, the fully diluted supply is pretty bad. Well, they just launched first of all, but half of the tokens went to their treasury, and that treasury is going to play a role in people getting like grants, right, from the treasury to do different projects on the layer 2 network. So they don't have the one thing is, and AJ is you're really good at tokenomics.
Yeah.
So you could probably dig into the supply. What I looked at looks like they have no schedule for the rest of the supply being released. They're just the supply is just going to get dispersed at will to the governance proposals that get approved.
Okay.
So it's very interesting the way it works out. I think it looks like a great project. It looks like something. And if you look at the price of BitDAO, do you have screens on here? You can pull up the price of BitDAO.
Yeah.
How long is Mantle? When did this come out?
July 17th, I believe.
Yeah, it's not long
It's
ago.
new.
Yeah.
And it's written. What's interesting is looking at the relationship between all these. So BitDAO,
Right.
You want to
So
see
look
the
at
all?
that. Straight down.
Yeah.
Is it launched?
Right.
Now, to be fair,
It launched.
at the top of the market. Launched at the very freaking top of the market. Literally the month of the top of the market it launched. Well, excuse me. Hit the all-time high at the top of the
And
market.
only 18% vested.
Yeah. And then bottom right with the bottom and it's up a
Right.
touch.
So,
So now look at Mantle, though. Mantle's much more interesting.
oh, that was BitDAO.
That was
Okay,
BitDAO,
okay,
right?
I couldn't see through the camera.
Yeah. So BitDAO. Now, this looks like a pretty good chart to me, I think.
That's solid accumulation.
Yes.
base.
Uh-huh.
Higher,
Yes.
The longer the base, the higher the space.
Yeah.
Love that.
One look, it's right on support right here where it launched,
exactly.
pulled back.
Exactly
So
what I
you
saw.
kind of know 50-ish cents is pretty solid spot. So
52.
Yeah,
Yeah, and when you're asking people to invest in your DAO for your leverage trading site, it's
Sounds
not that
different.
sexy. People
Yeah.
don't really want that. But when now you're talking about a layer 2 using ZKs, I mean, I think Mantle has got some big potential here.
yeah. And well, what's interesting, and I want to look more at Dragonfly because I wonder if Dragonfly is the Bybit people. Because look, this is BitDAO, this is Mantle, this is BitGet, right? BGB they're invested in, and then Lido, and then this is another interesting one, a sleeper. I mentioned it earlier. This is one Johnny has been and Frax Finance.
Right.
And we put it in a pick on Crucial Crypto early on. They're tokenizing real world assets. And I think there's something like 500 million or there's a
That's their play against synthetics. If you go back up to
Yeah.
the top with Andreessen Horowitz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Synthetics, they're doing that. So that, I just want to comment on Uniswap there. Like,
yeah, this is big.
Andreessen Horowitz, there must be someone at Andreessen Horowitz that hates me. Because they're probably behind that decision to get Bitcoin effed up on Uniswap. That was centralized. That was a centralized decision.
Oh, it had to be. It had
somebody
to be.
at Uniswap
Yeah.
potentially tried to sabotage us.
I agree.
And I've been told that a lot of the big money that's behind Uniswap are driving a lot of these decisions for them to screw different projects, including Hex. So I don't know. Does Andreessen Horowitz hate me? I don't know. I mean, you have a terrible name.
I think you should call them on the live stream.
Yeah.
Put them on
All it
blast.
takes.
Well, I'm going to New York this week. Which, by the way, can you go on x.com, which is not a porno site.
We're
believe
on
it or not.
X.com right now.
Yeah. Can you go? Oh, it's you. It's not him.
Yeah.
You go on x.com and type in new to the street. Is that also a porn site, Kelly? Kelly's up to date on all the porn sites. He's single. Okay.
I like hamsters.
Scroll down, click media, and scroll down like maybe, 7 or 8 tweets maybe. Keep going.
A
little bit more.
There
There it is.
Ah.
There it is.
Bam.
Look at that.
Hey.
On Madison
whoa.
Avenue, the financial district. Hey, Uniswap trying to hold us down. Be everywhere now, though. We're everywhere.
That's sick.
We're now on the financial district.
Well, it's not the financial district.
Madison Avenue's not. It's the advertising.
But there's a hell of a. I mean, that's one of the most populated, and especially tourists walking through. I used to live on 30th and Madison. great area. That's, think about Monopoly board. Everybody goes down, not Broadway, but Madison Avenue.
Is that
that's
Upper East
that's a
Side?
good spot.
It's close to Upper East Side, right?
Uh,
A little
BJ's
south
trying
of
to
it.
flex his knowledge, Kelly. Don't buy into it. Let's move on.
it's Madison Square Park area.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said look at Mantle on DeFi Llama. We'll do that and look.
It's rate 34 on DeFi Llama, just
Yeah,
so everybody knows. But if you click on it. I told you I did deep dive this morning.
Wow.
I know everything about Mantle. That's what happens when I show up to the work.
It's great.
Show up to work.
Yeah.
So look, what I thought was really interesting was the chart itself over there. Like
You're talking about for volume here, just
for the volume. Yeah. No, that's TVL. That's not volume. That's TVL. The volume is also interesting. So if volume looks like maybe it's peaked a little bit. Click on volume up there next to TVL.
It's right above August
Yeah,
6th.
right there. So there you go.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
look
that
at
makes
though.
sense with
Yeah.
volume in general is across all
Uh-huh.
DeFi is pulling
Yeah,
back.
but look at even though the volume is down,
same as
the TVL has been holding the same. So these are all reasons that make me kind of bullish on it. And when you think about Bybit, you think about someone who is definitely capable of pumping stuff, right? For sure. They got a lot of money. They got a lot of market makers. And the BitDAO token did not do well. It's done horrible.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're chomping at the bit, especially with all these regulatory issues going on with Bybit. When you have them banning people in the United States from doing KYC, now you have to do it Bybit. It's a big ordeal. Most people in the US aren't going to be able to continue to trade there. Their numbers are going to go down massively. And so where do you think they're going to make it back at? Remember, the big boys in this business don't lose.
Nope. Well, and this is a list of all of them right here and kind of all the different stuff they're holding. So Mantle, BitGet, so Frax Finance, an interesting one to keep an eye on. They've got 6 million in it.
What is that Nexus Mutual?
I don't know much about, and the other thing to keep in mind too, some of these most likely Andreessen Horowitz, the part of the reason they have so much uni is they were most likely involved in the launch. So some of these you'll see which ones they were behind at the launch because they still hold a bunch of them. So I imagine Nexus Mutual, if I had to guess, I don't know what it is. Well, I guess we could look real quick. But the idea wasn't to dig into all these. I just wanted to do a flyover and you can see, kind of get a sense of what, there's kind of a couple niches right here that people are,
DeFi.
DYDX, Aave, ENS, Defiance Capital, not surprising they would be in DYDX, Lido, Ethereum, Pantera, 1inch,
another
Audio.
big
This is one that kind of is an outlier. There's not really anything else. But again, I think
we were
launched.
supposed to be in that pre-sale. Did we ever get money from that?
I think it just went straight down, and I'm sure we did.
I don't.
We
think,
probably
I
have
don't know if
some.
I don't think we ever got tokens for it.
I think we did. I just think they were by the time we got them, they were a couple $1,000.
It's an interesting project.
It is, and they're still in it, and we'll see if it comes back.
But on the Audius deal, I saw a post somebody did that they had @music on Twitter or X.com for the last 16 years, and they got an email from Twitter that said, "We're taking this name." I don't. So I'm not sure if X is moving into doing something with audio as well. But obviously,
Well,
that's not
let
gonna
me
be
explain.
crypto,
Let me explain how that works, Kelly. How that works is a bunch of insiders buy and sell those domain names, and they work at X or they work at Twitter, formerly known as, and so they just take them from companies, and the individual employees there, similar to how people used to pay them for verification, bribes, basically. I mean, it's not a bribe if it's a public company per se, but I think bribes technically are only for politics. I think maybe I'm wrong, but the point is they just yank it from you because individuals there have the power to do it, and then they sell it to third parties who are kind of go-between employees. There aren't actually employees there, but they will go from the employee to the users and be the one that actually sells it. We know that because we have one of those. We have one of those Twitter names. We own @CryptoPunks, and we've never done anything with it. But we own @CryptoPunks, and that's how somebody took it from somebody, and then we bought it from them. So that's the way the business works. By domain squatting.
Jump Capital, Lido, more Mantle, which is interesting. Jump Capital is another really smart one. So Mantle showing up here again. A lot of USDC, Lido, Maker, Ethereum. Is this the same NXM that you were asking about up here?
Hey,
Yeah. Nexus Mutual. So yeah, it's worth. Let's look at what Nexus Mutual is.
Is that Nexus?
I don't know. That's why at first I thought it might be a rebrand of it, but
Well, Nexus is the platform.
on-chain protection. Insurance.
Is it Nexus?
Click on the.
Oh, this is different.
No, this is different. The insurance alternative. So this is crypto insurance. It's an interesting.
Oh, I know about this project.
Business can now build
we
on top
talk
of the
about
this
Nexus
for
Mutual
ever?
protocol to
Yes.
share. So it's like they're trying to be the
We
WAMU.
did a deep dive into this. Remember when we were looking at investing into that company that was doing the flood insurance.
Flood insurance.
The flood insurance.
This was like when
This
I
was
first
their
started.
this was the model for insurance on blockchain.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nexus Mutual, Frax Finance. So here's a couple again. Let's see what the market cap of this is. How low is it?
I like how undiscovered Mantle is.
I do too. I mean, people say it's it's the core of crypto, but then you look a little bit outside of the core and you have the mantle, and then you have the crust.
So they,
where's Agartha and all of that?
Here we
Oh
go.
my god.
Here we go.
Here we
Y'all
go.
remember when this show used to be on track, be on the rails?
This was
this
never-
one has
Yeah,
never really been.
about
never.
12 minutes ago.
It's on the rails sometimes when I host, and then apparently Thursdays and Fridays go all over the place, from what I understand. But
Look at this. Crypto
happens.
Poppy says that Stacey Herbert went dark on Twitter after she went full Karen on me at the Bitcoin conference.
uh-oh.
Really?
Well, she's a straight psycho. Well, yeah, she attacked me.
Stop.
crazy
He's a
publicly.
scammer.
No, she said I was assaulting her. She
Oh,
said I was
yeah, that
assaulting her
too.
while
Oh,
she was
that,
5
yeah,
feet
yeah,
away
yeah.
from me.
Right.
Crazy.
Dude, that's powerful. You have that big of an aura?
Yeah,
I had a lady
So-
with
Hey,
armpit
BJ,
hair yell at me
it's
this
pretty
week.
big.
All right,
Hell yeah.
let's move this one on and then kind of hit the
No,
last
no,
two
no, no.
things.
We're derailing.
So the two, what? All right, who can name the two very obvious themes here? There's two.
DeFi
DK
and
rocks.
decent. Well,
There's one other one.
I saw it.
Layer
I saw it there.
twos.
Like exchange tokens.
Chain. What chain?
Fido.
No, Ethereum.
Everything. Almost
Everything's
everything.
Ethereum.
Almost
Ethereum.
all of this is
Let me
on
let me
Ethereum.
look. Is literally everything on Ethereum?
There's one or two that, like, if you BitGet, no. But,
BitGet's on
well,
Ethereum.
that's a token, yeah.
It's on Ethereum. Aave, ENS.
Audio is.
ENS is. Audio is. Matic
Matic
is.
Yeah.
This is all Ethereum.
I've never heard of V.
It's a DAO. I mean, it's going to be
I
the
don't know
same
about
thing. It's their DAO.
centrifuge.
Centrifuge. We've
SFG?
covered that, I think. That's. Like
I've read it. I've read about it. I just don't remember.
I feel like
I
it's,
think the entire thing is Ethereum.
Yeah, probably.
it's almost
is.
all Ethereum.
Yeah.
I think it is all
That's
Ethereum.
the
It's
point.
DeFi and Ethereum,
Yeah.
whether it's layer 2, whether
Lyra and
it's
Vita are the only two I don't know.
Yeah. And so when I looked at this, it's like, okay, so this should give you a pretty clear picture of where a lot of the big money in crypto is right now. A lot of it's in Ethereum, or, if it's not already in Bitcoin. Now, these are obviously when you're talking altcoins, this is where their attention is. A lot of it in DeFi trading. So I just thought that was interesting. This one, Nexus, learning a little bit about industry, on-chain insurance.
We have a deep report on that was done. I believe Drew was the one that did the report
On which one?
on Nexus Mutual.
No, that wasn't me.
That wasn't you.
Might
Who?
have been vibes.
Gotta find
Who?
out.
John? Vibes?
Vibes. Maybe.
There was a deep report done on it because we were doing that research for that show.
Interesting.
And so we have that sitting around. Maybe it was Johnny. It might have been Johnny that did it.
Hey Ben, real fast. Can I ask an honest question?
Um,
Can I?
Only, yeah.
Can I
Only
ask
PJ
one
puts you on
honest
camera.
question?
how can a question be honest?
No,
Yeah,
no.
that doesn't make
It's
sense.
an honest question.
Genuine.
Are you here because I forgot to put the script in Trello?
AJ, we're gonna have to let you go.
Yeah, you just outed yourself. He didn't
I
even know
just
that.
saw my phone. I saw a message from Aaron, and I thought about it, and I
yeah.
was like, "Oh
Well,
no."
here's the thing, AJ. The thing is,
Provided him the opportunity.
Well, hold on. Me and Ben need to get used to debating each other anyway, so I just went ahead and
he's a master.
He's
a master debater.
Mm.
So
Well, Jada is out of town for a month.
Oh God.
Okay, sorry.
Save up
Come
that
in with
stuff.
the wrist guard. We're gonna know what's up.
We have derailed. But
where have I?
Well, you did it.
Places.
dude,
Okay, so
Welcome to the
here's
basement,
the thing.
Ben.
The chat's already pointed this out. The chat's already pointed
Oh my
out.
god.
You see what's going on is Tim is taking over my show.
Mm.
And so now I'm coming down here and I've got to take over TJ's show. So what that means is we're going to need an extra spot on the couch,
Oh, I see.
which going back to your master debater, I'm sure you leave a lot of spots on the couch.
you have to check out what Shane Hansen just dropped in the
Oh my
Discord for the blockchain basement memes.
Oh, did he?
galore. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to show you
great.
after the.
All right, last two threads, and we'll wrap this up. Just kind of here's what to keep an eye on for the week. Macro schedule for this week: Tuesday, tomorrow we've got U.S./China trade balance. Wednesday, China CPI. Thursday, U.S. CPI. Jobless claims on Thursday. OPEC report Friday. U.S. PPI. Consumer sentiment. Highlight of the week will be the data with the 0.2 month-over-month expected for both core and the headline U.S. CPI. So that coming out, we'll see if it hits 0.2 month-over-month, which is pretty nominal at that
Yeah,
point.
I think it's 3.3 year over year, which is up from last month, which was 3%.
And then also last major week of earnings season with 84% of the companies in the S&P 500 already reported. So it's pretty bland, not a whole lot going on. We did cover last week Bank of Japan started pumping. I don't know if I ever showed that meme of like you had Credit Suisse and all this different stuff, and then Bank of Japan going insolvent behind it. So that'd be pretty wild. And then on the crypto watch list for this week, OP keeps gaining momentum. Base mainnet goes live next week, so this is something to keep an eye on. It uses the OP stack. Next deadline for the SEC decision on ARC spot Bitcoin ETFs. Kelly already talked about that. Is August 13th. Velo fork will airdrop. Blah blah blah. And then Frax, another one. Again, the Frax is coming up a lot. This Frax real world assets are coming to V3 launching this month, and it's showing a lot of strength. And then here we go. Mantles. VCs are accumulating. Mantle L2 almost surpassed 100 million in TVL. So we're seeing this getting accumulated hard by VCs right now.
Better get up on it.
Well, there's two thoughts to that. There's two thoughts. One, we talked a lot about what's going to happen over the next 6 months or so while we're going through these regulatory things. They might accumulate, pump it in the short term, and that's one could get absolutely crushed if we see some ETA delays, if we see Bitcoin fall.
ETA delays? I mean, estimated time of arrival delays?
ETF delays.
So you become the exit liquidity.
Exactly. There could be a short-term play where they pump it up a little bit and use you for exit liquidity over the 3 month, but over the next 2 years, going through the next halving, I see it doing extremely well. So that's another one I'll add to the accumulation list.
Can I say one thing about Mantle real quick?
Yeah.
I've said a lot of things about
I was going to say, yeah.
It's a great. I mean, this is great context. You guys are just talking about this today because I
Good
am.
timing. Yeah.
I'm the Mantle. I'm the Mandela of Mantle. I guess.
How many Mantle
Mandela?
How many Mantle?
Kelly
jokes
just
can you
looks
make?
like a floating head right now.
They call me
It's
Mantle
amazing.
Mandela.
Mantle Mandela.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. One more thing about Mantle.
Okay. One more thing about Mantle is I hear what you're saying. Okay. But here is why I think Mantle is going to next month. It's going to pump. It's like the main sponsor of Token 2049.
Yeah.
Which
no, I think it will.
What I'm saying is, in the short term, I think right now where you're looking at an accumulation period on the chart because it looks good. I would be looking for a short-term pop for this thing.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, be careful of like Thanksgiving. Like I think we see a pump right here in the short term, and then people start piling in after that pump, and then it maybe pulls back in Thanksgiving before ripping in 24 and 25.
So when your wife starts putting yellow and brown colored leaves on the mantle for Thanksgiving,
sell the mantle. If there's red on the mantle, get out.
That's it.
Yeah,
Oh
for sure.
my God.
Yeah.
All right, last thing, we don't even really need to talk about it. PayPal launches stablecoin on Ethereum, citing shift towards digital currencies.
Who gives it?
Everybody knows we're going towards digital currencies. They're a digital payment company. They tried to do this. This is their business model 20 years ago, so they're staying up with the technology. They just had to get, but
we don't feel like this is bullish. We don't feel like this is bullish for like mainstream users of PayPal that are not using crypto currently.
Yeah, I do. I think it's bullish in the sense this means
stablecoin is.
this means
exactly. They don't exactly. That's
They
why
know
it's not
what
bullish in
PayPal
the short term.
is.
Yeah.
What the usage comes in.
This means there's no blocking from a government perspective, in my opinion. This means the pathway is clear for big businesses to come in. And yes, I don't know, it's millions and millions of users that they have. And I mean, it was a big deal when they just added the pay with Bitcoin button for all of their users.
That's what I was
it
gonna
matters
say.
that it's there.
Well, we were looking on the show that's the start of the bull run. The start of the bull run
was when PayPal
literally was the day that they announced they were putting those coins on PayPal. Go look at October 21st.
It was a big green candle.
That's when it broke out of the sideways action and it shot up.
Got it.
Also, I'll retweet this. You guys can kind of read it on your own time more about the Coinbase stuff, but it's pretty clear they're going to win at this point. The notion that the agency deserves greater deference for assuming power preeminently while refusing to follow the regulatory process does even further violence to the separation of powers. So basically, he puts it in.
I love Ryan Selkis.
This Ryan Selkis and Paul Grewal, the kind of lead
attorney for Coinbase.
Yeah, regulatory guy. He breaks the whole thing down. He links you to the actual stuff you can read for yourself. But yeah, Ryan Selkis has been covering this really well the whole time. So that's the big stuff for this week. I'm not expecting a lot of dramatic price action. Same narrative still apply. DeFi trading, specifically perpetual dexes, ETH layer 2s. Everybody's accumulating Ethereum right now. You got time to accumulate. Don't freak out. Build your dry powder. We love you guys. See you next time. Smash the likes on the way out. We'll see you.
Smash the likes.
Yeah. Wow.
Smash the likes.